Hi and welcome to Miss Daisy Patterns online tutorials. Today we're going to take a look at threading up our sewing machine. Now previously we had looked at threading the bobbin, so this is the bobbin that we threaded. Now just in case if any of you have done it, that there's a little piece of thread left here or at the little loops that we threaded it from, just make sure that they're snipped off, okay, so that there's no thread popping out on either side of these sections of your bobbin. Now to start with, what we want to do is we want to first of all is make sure our sewing machine is off completely. So we have our machine turned off completely. We have our presser foot lifted and we have our needle raised up as much as possible. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to pop in our bobbin. Now the bobbin loads in here and this is the cover. To get the cover off, you literally just pop it like this and out it comes. Open it up, pop it out, and out it comes. Now on all bobbin cases it should actually give you instructions how to mount your bobbin in. So in this case here it also has a little diagram here and another one here. So the diagram basically tells me that what I want to do is I want to drop it in this way. So I literally drop it in like that, and then following where it tells me to go, I loop it around this section and pull it across to the left where I leave the thread, and then I replace the cover. So I'm replacing the cover like so. Place the cover like so, and in it pops. So that's the bobbin ready for the thread to be engaged once we've threaded the rest of the machine. Now, so the next thing we do is for this machine, I'm going to be threading it in the white Gutterman thread. So this section faces that way and this section faces in the way. And what you do is, this is your spool pin, so it pops onto your spool pin like this with the thread coming off it like that. Now your spool cap looks like this. It's got a concave section at the front and that's the inside, so it pops on with this facing that way. Just pops on, and that's what holds your thread in place. Okay, so you just want it to be comfortable. You don't want the spool of thread to be moving too much back and forward up here. So we start with our thread. The thread comes off this way. Now every machine should have a diagram that shows you how to thread up the machine, and you should also have it in your manual. But as a rule of thumb, generally machines thread, they go across this way, down, up, back down, into a little section just above the needle where it snips in, and then through the needle. So that's in general, okay? So how I do is I grab my thread. This is the first loop I have to go through. I hold the thread taut between my two fingers here and I pop it in underneath. So that's the first loop gone through. The next section I want to do is I need to go around this. So again, I go around, follow this all the way down, loop around the base, and I come up. Now there's actually a little metal section in here that sits like this, and what you want to do is you want to loop the thread in there. So if you hold the thread over to the right hand side and slowly pull it to the left and back down, it should actually loop itself in there. Okay, so I can feel that it's looped in. Follow this all the way down, again holding this taut here. I pop it through this, I pop it through here, okay, making sure not to wrap any of the thread around anything. You just want it to be free flowing through each of these items. Okay, so we're going through here, and then the final stage is what we want to do is we want to thread the needle. Now what I usually do is I just snip off a piece of the top of the thread so I can have a nice blunt end to get through the needle. Then holding this in place, and it goes. Okay, so that's that through. Making sure again that the thread runs through this section and lays flat against the front of the needle, going through and working its way out the back. Now the final thing that we need to do is we need to engage the bobbin with the top section of thread. So you do this by holding your thread gently taut. Now it's not too tight, just gently taut. And then using your wheel here at the side of your machine, what you want to do is you want to manually drop the needle down and lift it up. And as you do that, you'll see that you've actually engaged the bobbin thread underneath. And if you pull it with this piece of thread here, the one that's in your hand, it'll loop right up here. Now what I do is I usually use little scissors. You just pull this through here, and that is your thread from the top, your thread from the bottom. You put the two of them together, you pull them through at the back, that's them all the way through. Now you turn on your sewing machine and you're ready to go. And always leave your two pieces of thread coming out the back that way, so they're smooth, straight down at the back and up and at the back. Okay, so thank you for taking the time to watch this tutorial today, and happy crafting.